Wednesday Night Live! All right. If it's hot outside, make some noise. If you're sad school started, make some noise. What? Friends? New friends? All right, well, school started, but we want to keep having fun. So right now, we actually have a challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, real quick, before we start, everyone stand up.
Yeah.
Stand up. Stand up. Now I need everybody to get in their small groups. And once you get in your small group, go touch the wall. Let's go, let's go.
Clear it out, run it out, clear it out, run it out. Let me see what your shoulders about. Let me see what your shoulders about. Clear it out, run it out, clear it out, run it out. Let me see what your shoulders about. Let me see what your shoulders about. Talk about who they wanna see your shoulders.
15 seconds, go touch the wall. Go touch the wall. Go touch the wall. Have your small group touch the wall. 10, 9, 8. All right, check it out. Now in a moment, I need you guys to choose one representative. That's the slowest rider. One representative from your small group. One representative from your small group. Now I need you to send up that representative from your small group. Let's go, send him up. And I'm gonna give you a whiteboard and a marker. Let's go, you got 10 seconds. Go ahead and grab it. Come on, let's go, grab it. Let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Grab it. Let's go. Now, if you have a big group, you can send up another representative. If you have a really big group, you can send up another representative. Let's go. Come on. They're going back to the group. Go back to your group. Bring it back to your group. Go. Bring it back to your group. Let's go. Now, you have to be quiet or you're not going to get this game. Now, the winning small group will get 2 boxes of pizza. 2 boxes of pizza. We ordered some pizza. You'll have it. This is a promise. 2 boxes of pizza. Now check it out. All right, you can miss out on this. That's fine with me. Now, I'm gonna stand somewhere in the room and I'm gonna ask you to write down 5 things. First team to run and give me their whiteboard will get a point. Brooke is gonna keep score for your small group. All right. Now the first category is... Doesn't work? You have to have 5 things. All right. First thing is... Hold up. No, you gotta be touching the wall. That's minus points. Touch the wall. All right. I want 5 leaders' names. 5 leaders' names. Let's go. You gotta bring me the whiteboard. Nope, you gotta bring it to me, Caleb. Let's go. Okay. It got erased. I need someone else's. What grade are you in?
9.
Give it up for the 9th grade girls. We got Jake, Allie, Adam, and Zach. That is correct. 9th grade girls. All right. Next topic. 5 worst foods. Input. You need input from your team. Everybody needs to say something. Everybody needs to say something. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Here we go, here we go, here we go. All right. We got, what grade are you in? What grade are you in?
11th grade boys.
11th grade boys. They said onions, peppers, Cheetos, caterpillars, and snails. That's valid, that's valid. Go back, go back, go back. Go back, go back. Now, go back, go back, go back. Next topic, switch riders. You gotta switch riders. I'm watching. Leaders, make sure they switch riders. I said switch riders. I said switch. I'm watching. All right. Now I need 5 worst songs. You need input. You need input. Riders, you're not allowed to put your own input. Don't cheat. You're at church. Riders, you can't put your own input. Don't cheat. You're at church. Come on, someone give it to me. Come on, someone give it to me. Let's go, let's go. First one to give it to me. 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 All right, right here. It's a race. It's a race. It's a race. All right. Okay, back up, back up, back up, back up. Okay, we got Cupcake, Firework. No, Firework is the top 5 song. Get that out of there. Give me one. Friday, by who? He doesn't even know. Get that out of here. Firework is a top 5 song. Old Town Road, Havana, Barbie Girl, what is it? Yummy Yummy, and Cocomelon. Whose is this? What grade are you in?
9th grade girl!
Give it up for the 9th grade girls. Go back, go back, go back. Here's a boy. We got 2 more. 9th grade girls in the lead. All right, all right. You ready? We got 2 more rounds. Here we go, here we go. I want, let's sing. Top 5 worst outfit things to wear. Things to wear. Top 5 worst things. Come on, I need input from every team. Riders, you can't be putting your own thoughts. Let's see it. Let's go, first one to get me. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Right here. I got one. I got one. Stop. Everyone who's touching me is going to lose a point. Where's Sawyer? Give this to me, Sawyer. It's a race, Sawyer. I can't read it. Are you okay? All right. I can't read that. That's chicken scratch. I can't. Give this to me. 80s, 60s, that's not specific enough. Hold on, back up. I'm gonna choose one. What does that say? Crocs? No, Crocs. I love Crocs. Get that out of here. Socks and sandals. What does that say? Carhartt hats, zebra pants, fur, and a what? What does that say? I can't read the last one. Let's see this. All right, this is I can't read it. No one gets a point. I can't read any of them. You gotta write. I'm gonna give you one more category. I'm gonna give you one more category. Go back. Oh my gosh. Go back. This is the last category. I need I need 5 disciples of Jesus. 5 disciples of Jesus. All right. I'm not, right here, I got him. We got Matt, we got Mark, we got Luke, we got John. Wait. Spell Matthew.
M-A-T-T-H-E-W.
And we got Peter. All right, we'll give it to them. All right, wait. Ant, what grade are you? What grade?
Boys.
9th grade boys. Gosh, I'm dying. All right, everybody go ahead and grab a seat. Return the whiteboards. Return the whiteboards, please. Where did you come from? Where are you coming from? What just happened? What just happened? I got violated. You guys are good. That was insane. I don't know who untied my shoe, but that was crazy. I don't know how you did that. Who untied my shoe? That is crazy. All right, Brooke, who's in the lead and who won the pizzas? Oh, man. I thought we had athletes in our group. I don't know what happened. Well, if you guys are new here, Brooke, what should they do on our Instagram? Sweet. Also, if you are new here, if you're in high school, raise your hand. Raise your hand if you're in high school. If you're new here, go ahead, pull out your phone and text don't forget the HS Vintage to 81010. You're gonna get updates. You're gonna get to know when we have our events, free food, all that stuff. What should the middle schoolers do? But wait, there's more. Don't forget, in a couple weeks, we have The Lodge coming up. High schoolers, we finally get our own night. You're still gonna come here on Wednesday, so nothing changes, and it's gonna be dope, and it's just gonna be us. So let's get it. But you guys, go ahead and stand up, and if you want to worship, we made some room for you in the front, so you know what to do. Come on now, you know what's up.
I want you guys to sing with me on this part. Ready? We worship the God who was. We worship the God who is. We worship the God who evermore will be. As he opened the prison doors, he parted the raging sea. My God, he holds the victory. Come on, let's go. There's joy in the house of the Lord. There's joy in the house of the Lord today. We won't be quiet. We shout out your praise. There's joy in the house of the Lord. Our God is surely in this place. We won't be quiet. We shout out your praise. We sing to We sing to the God who saves. We sing to the God who always makes a way. 'Cause he hung up on that cross, then he rose up from that grave. My God, still rolling stones away. Come on! There's joy in the house of the Lord. There's joy in the house of the Lord today. And we won't be quiet. We shout out your praise. There's joy in the house of the Lord. Our God is surely in this place. And we won't be quiet. We're gonna shout out your praise. Sing this part. 'Cause we were the beggars, now we're royalty. We were the prisoners, now we're running free. We are forgiven, accepted, redeemed by his grace. Let the house of the Lord sing praise. We were the beggars, now we're royalty. We were the prisoners, now we're running free. We are forgiven, accepted, redeemed by his grace. Let the house of the Lord sing praise. Everyone clap with me, ready? There's joy in the house of the Lord. There's joy in the house of the Lord today. And we won't be quiet. We shout out your praise. There's joy in the house of the Lord. Our God is surely in this place. And we won't be quiet. We shout out your praise. There's joy in the house of the Lord. There's joy in the house of the Lord today. We won't be quiet. We shout out your praise. There's joy in the house of the Lord. Oh, our God is surely in this place. We won't be quiet. We shout out your praise. Oh, oh, oh. We shout out your praise. As we transition to this next song, just raise your arms and sing with me. Come on, let's go.
There is a sound I love to hear. It's the sound of the Savior's robe as he walks into the room where people pray, where we hear praises he is fame. There is a sound I love to hear. It's the sound of the Savior's robe as he walks into the room where people pray, where we worship his name. Awake my soul and sing, sing his praise aloud, sing his praise aloud. Oh, awake my soul and sing, sing his praise aloud, sing his praise aloud. There is a sound that changes things, the sound of his people
his praise aloud. Okay, you guys can take a seat.
Hi guys. Hey everybody. It is on, perfect. All right. Sorry. So about 4 years ago, I went on like the best vacation of my entire life. Raise your hand if you went somewhere really fun this past summer. I know school's back in session, so no more vacations, but I'm really glad you guys got to go places. My favorite place I've ever been was actually a trip that I took with my sister. Everyone give a round of applause for Kaylee. She's somewhere in this room. If you see someone that kind of looks like me, it's probably her. Just say hi. This story is about her. Well, about me, but she's in it. So we went to a place called Bali, which is a little country in Indonesia. I have this map for all the people who don't know where anything is geographically. I'm also like that. And so we are somewhere here. Bali, Indonesia is way over here, right above Australia. So Kaylee and I, super spontaneously one year, when I was like 18, we found these plane tickets that were super cheap. And we're like, should we just send it? And we did. So we flew all the way to Bali, knew nothing, and we just decided to go backpacking there for a couple weeks. And what's really cool about going to a brand new country that you've never been to is that different countries have different cultures, different traditions, and just all these really cool and unique things about that country. And Bali is so rich in culture and religion and all sorts of stuff. And I kind of had to learn that the hard way. So this one time, while we were there, as you see in this beautiful, not yet, previous one. So we went onto this waterfall hike, and it was this guided tour, and it was the prettiest waterfall I've ever seen in my entire life. And as we got to the top, and we were walking around, I started noticing all these little stacks of pebbles that were probably like this high, ranging from like small pebbles and then getting like, or big pebbles and then getting a little bit smaller, and they were just super cute and pretty, and they were everywhere. And so as we're on this tour, walking around the top of the waterfall, I see this little kid like kind of sneak off and then grab a pebble and then add it to one of the towers. And I'm kind of just standing there looking like, I want to try that. So monkey see, monkey do, right? And so I kind of sneak off, and then I'm like looking around for a pebble, and then I found one, and then I add it to this tower. And this place is super crowded, and then all of a sudden I just look around, and people are like staring at me as if I just committed a crime. And I was like, what? As you can see in this picture, it is taken at the exact moment that I knew I messed up. And so I put it right there, looked around, saw that people were terrified, and the guide comes over to me. And he's like, yeah, so these rocks that you see, it's actually super important in Balinese family culture that they stack it up, and it's supposed to mean like years of prosperity and health for the family. And if you add on top of it, it like discontinues the entire thing. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so I freak out, right? And me being Catherine, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And the whole thing knocks over. So not only did I just add on top of it, ruining this family's, like years of prosperity, but I added 7 years of unprosperity, of bad luck to myself, according to their traditions, which my hope's in Jesus, not in rocks, so whatever. But if that was true, that happened in 2019, so I still got a few years of bad luck left, which explains so much of the last few years of my life. But anyways, who you follow is really important. Who you follow matters. And I followed this example of this little girl with stacking rocks, and it didn't really go well because I potentially have a few more years of bad luck, and you guys get to experience it. But The past few weeks, we've been going over this series on discipleship, the series called Who's Your One? And we've been talking through all these super cool strategies and ways that we see Jesus pouring into people and making disciples. The first week, we had this really cool thing of identify. And here, I want to show you this picture of what Vintage Grace likes to use as the discipleship diamond, which is just a nice little graphic for all my visual aid people. Who's a visual aid person? I'm a visual aid person. It's this nice graphic that we can use to see what exactly are we talking about and how does it work. So week 1, we talked about identify, which is just praying, seeking, watching, stepping, and just seeing who in your life has God placed that you can potentially share the love of Jesus with. And then week 2, Hunter did an awesome job talking about inviting. And inviting is so important because it's not simply inviting someone to church. Like, that would be cool, but it's inviting someone into your life to do life with, to walk this whole faith journey together, inviting them into that place and space. And today is week 3, and we are going to be doing imitate. We're going to be talking about how important it is to imitate Christ so that when we invite others into our lives, they can imitate us as well. And this all encompasses into this thing we call discipleship and figuring out who is your one. Now, can anyone tell me from all these past weeks what a one is? Or like, what does that mean? I honestly wasn't here last week, so if anyone can tell me, that'd be super awesome. Yes. What's a one?
Someone who you want to show God to.
Yeah, absolutely. What else? Any other ideas? Anyone want to add something? Yeah, you want to add? No. Does anyone want to add anything to that? Someone you want to show God's love to? I think that's pretty great. You did a great job right there. Yeah, so a one is someone that as a disciple of Christ, you want to pour into to hopefully they become also a disciple of Christ. And so over the past few years or so of working here, I've noticed all the ways I personally subconsciously begin to imitate the people that are around me. Michael Dacey, can you raise your hand, please? He's probably not in this room. Pretend he's raising his hand. You guys all know. Can you guys give a round of applause for Michael Dacey so he hears us over there? Dacey is awesome. But what's important about that is I high-five everybody now. You want to know why I high-five everybody? Why do you think I high-five everyone? Oh, woo! It's because Dacey high-fives everyone, right? And I've seen him do that for the past 3 years and how he connects with people. And he taught me that high-fives are the love language of youth ministry. Take that, write it down, it's important. And now I see a whole bunch of you guys high-fiving people. And I also used to wear my rainbow flip-flops no matter what, no matter the weather. Why? Because Dacey wears his rainbow flip-flops no matter the weather. Rain or shine, that guy is wearing his rainbow flip-flops. But one thing I will not imitate him on is the Crocs. I don't care how long it's been. I will never wear Crocs. I feel like, in all honesty, I feel like I can build a pretty solid account for, that Jesus would potentially wear rainbow flip-flops because they're pretty close to his Jesus sandals that he would wear, but Crocs, no way. I will never imitate Dacey on that one. But I'm imitating Dacey as he is imitating Christ, and that's what we are called to do because that's what a disciple maker does. That's what it means to make a disciple. It's identifying someone, inviting them into your life, and then having them imitate you as you imitate Jesus. And the hope is that they would see Jesus in us as we follow and imitate Jesus. Now, raise your hand if you have a Bible with you or like a Bible app on your phone. Awesome. You can pull that out. We are going to be in Ephesians chapter 5, verse 1, but the verse is also going to be up on the board really quickly because Paul's this guy who was a disciple of Jesus a little bit later on in life, and he's writing to this church in Ephesus about how important it is to be in a relationship with Jesus and to imitate him so that we can make more disciples. And we see this here in this verse where it says, "Therefore, be imitators of God as beloved children and walk in love as Christ loved us and gave himself up for us as a fragrant offering and sacrifice to God." So I've said this a couple times, long time ago, when I used to teach. But who knows, what do you do when you see a verse that says therefore? You can just shout it out if you know. Any of my high school students, when you see a verse in the Bible that says therefore, what do you say? What is it there for? Yes, there you go. Did you say it? Yes, absolutely. Love it. So you ask, what is it there for? So we see in Ephesians chapter 4, it says that we are called to live a life worthy of the gospel and all this stuff. It says, as Christians, we're meant to lead a life worthy of God's calling for us. And God's calling for us is the Great Commission in Matthew 28, to make disciples of all nations. So everyone in this room right now, everyone in this room has a calling to follow God and then invite others to follow us as we imitate Christ. And, you know, I don't know about you guys, but does that calling make anyone else nervous or just me? Like, if you think about it, Paul is saying that we are called to imitate God, the infinite, sovereign, perfect, holy God who sent his son to die for us, Jesus, who lived the perfect life that we couldn't live, died the death that we deserve to die, showing that he could defeat death, that he truly was fully God, fully human, and that we as creation could be redeemed forever and have a relationship with Christ again. That is who the Bible says we are called to imitate. And I don't know about you guys, but I read that and I'm like, what? I can't even go to Costco for 10 minutes without getting road rage at least once by some of the drivers who are just like definitely not paying attention and I'm there with my cart, let alone imitate a perfect and holy God. And like, there's some of us in this room right now who can't even go a full day at school without gossiping about one of their friends. Like, there's people in this room who spend hours editing their pictures to post on Instagram just for the approval of others. There's people in this room who try to fill their loneliness by messing with girls or guys in ways that they know they shouldn't. There's people who tell like little white lies and stories that they tell just because they think the made up story is gonna make someone like them more than the truth of who they actually are. There's people in here who have to erase their search history every single night so people don't know what they were looking at. And there's people in here who won't stop people pleasing, who can't stop people pleasing others because they're so desperate for people to like them. And yet Paul says this is our calling, that we as Vintage Grace Youth Group, as everyone who's in this room right now, is called to imitate Christ. Does anyone else feel the weight of this or just me? Right, and so if we can't imitate Christ, how on earth are we supposed to go and make disciples with the hope that they are then gonna imitate Christ themselves? Because it's kind of scary, honestly, having someone imitate you, because that means they're gonna get a glimpse of your brokenness and your weakness. They're gonna see that you don't actually have it all together all the time. They're gonna see that you don't follow Jesus the way that we're called to. But here's the good news. It's actually not about you. It's not about me. It's not about any of us. Being a disciple and being an imitator of Christ is only about God and for the glory of God. And the Bible tells us that God's strength is made perfect in our weaknesses and that there's no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus and that we are sinners saved by grace. And so I want to make one thing super, super clear tonight. I am not worth following. I don't care how long I've been here. I don't care how good of a relationship I might have with some of you guys. I am not worth following. But also, on the other end, neither are you. None of you guys are worth following. But that's okay, because we are not called to be imitators of Christ because we are worth following. We're called to be imitators of Christ because God is worth following. So we don't have to carry the insecurity or that weight of not being good enough of imitating Jesus because he carries that for us. He did the work for us. So if we're called to be imitators of Jesus and to walk in love like Ephesians 5:1 was saying, how do we do that? Given that I get road rage every time I go to Costco. Here's what we do. I broke it down into 5 steps for how we can imitate Christ to other people, and it spells out the word steps. You're welcome. So, number 1, S, it's show up for people. We can imitate Christ by showing up for them because Jesus was always present with people. We see all over the Bible that he basically went on this 3-year camping trip with all of his followers and his disciples, and he was also present with everyone he met in person. Imagine that. Imagine on your busiest days, on your most stressful days at work or at school or whatever it is you guys are doing, that you walk down the hallway and the person who's trying to make conversation with you or your mom who wants to talk to you about something, that you don't find them annoying. Imagine actually taking the time to talk to them and show them that you care for them, because that can make a huge difference. It really doesn't take that much to be present in someone's life. For Jesus, it looked like showing up for people and having time for everyone who came to him. But for us, it could be doing a Starbucks run with somebody. It could be going on a walk with someone. It could be saying hi to someone as you walk through the hallways at school. It could even be as simple as sending an encouraging text to someone. Everyone in here really can do it, and that's one way that as broken people, we can be imitators of Christ. And the second way, for T, it's talk less. So even though, Jesus knows what's in our hearts, Jesus knows what's in anyone's heart that he's talking to, but he always takes the time to listen to his people and to hear them out. And listening to someone shows them that they have value. It lets them know that their thoughts and their feelings matter. And Jesus modeled listening to teach us how to listen to others. And it's a great way we can imitate Christ, even as broken people. And then for E, eat more, but with people. So Jesus ate with people all the time. If you open up any gospel, Jesus is basically going to dinner party after dinner party with his disciples. He's inviting everyone to the table and having meals all the time and celebrating everything. Jesus was a pretty fun guy, and you know that if you start reading the Bible. It's pretty cool. And so eating with people can easily break down walls, and it humanizes them. It shows them that you guys have so much more in common, that you can connect on a way bigger level. And for Jesus, it looks like getting around a dinner table with a bunch of his disciples. But for us, it could be the same. You can invite a whole bunch of people over, or it could be just sitting next to someone at lunch, or going in and out after youth group tonight as long as your parents say it's okay. Or it's eating, because eating with people is one of the best ways to build relationships, and Jesus did it all the time. And we're already eating 21 meals during the week. You can set one aside, go text go text someone that you want to show the love of Jesus to, and just go get some food with them. And then for P, this is arguably the most important one. It's prayer. Pray always. Pray through the whole entire process. Because Jesus prayed. If Jesus is out here being fully man and fully God, and he's still taking time in the Bible to pray, I think that's a pretty good indicator that we should be following that example. Because it's just having a conversation with God, guys. The same way I'm up here talking to you, asking you guys questions, you guys are talking back. That's exactly how we can be talking to God. I know that, especially for the students who grew up going to church for a long time, you can get stuck in this routine of thinking that a prayer only sounds like, "Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for all this stuff." And that's okay. You can totally pray like that. But I don't want that to scare anyone off or to make people think that they have to have all these formal words to talk to God. It really is just talking to a friend, talking about what you're upset about, what you're happy about, what you're excited for or hopeful in the future, any questions you have, anything you want to say to God. It's all good for prayer, because prayer is the work, and we can't do anything without it. And the last one, S, it's share your story with people. Because every single one of us, every single person in this room, me, you, Michael Dacey, Hunter, everyone here has a story. And that story is a testimony of how God has worked in your life, how God has brought you from dead to alive in a relationship with him. And sharing this story with other people, especially the one person you're trying to pour into, it can be such a powerful way to encourage other people to follow him. And it can help you have a reminder too of all the cool things that God has done in your life. And so if you've never taken the time to write out your testimony or just bullet point a few things that God has done in your life, I want to challenge every single person in here who hasn't done that. Do that this week and see what God does through it, and then go share that with someone. Send it to me. Send it to your friend. Go tell your family member, whoever you feel like you trust and would want to share your story with. Go do that. Because when we put God first and go through these steps to imitate Christ, that is when true discipleship happens. And it's this amazing process and calling that God invites us as broken people to be a part of. And it's so beautiful. And this process is truly the only reason why I'm standing here today. If Michael Dacey, think about this. If Michael Dacey did not trust and treasure Jesus and put his faith into it, then he wouldn't be imitating Christ. And if he wasn't imitating Christ, I wouldn't be here today. Because really what Dacey did is he loved Jesus, and then he imitated him, and then he invited me into something. He invited me, along with the entire youth group team and all the leaders and everything, into youth group. And then if we weren't here, you guys probably wouldn't be here. And so it's because we imitated Christ that you guys are now here following us and thinking, I want to know more about this Jesus guy. And it's actually really funny if you think about it. If you think about everyone's personal small group, it looks like the small group leader a little bit. There's always some similarities. All of Hunter's guys are basketball. All of Anthony's guys are gamers and D&D and super just cool. I feel like my girls lift. Everybody has their own unique style in their small group, and it's awesome. And what's so important is that as fun as it is that we all like start to resemble each other and like imitate each other, it's not about us. Like, it's not about me. It's not about Hunter or anyone. It's about Jesus. And if you guys don't get Jesus while trying to imitate us, then none of it matters. If you guys are trying to imitate anyone other than Jesus, it's not going to go anywhere, and it doesn't matter. And so as a disciple maker, you're saying, follow me as I follow Jesus. Because discipleship isn't about you looking cool. It's honestly about Jesus looking cool. And I don't actually think the best way for someone to meet Jesus is to listen to a sermon. Like, I love that you guys are here. I love being able to teach and talk to you guys about this stuff. But I don't think you're going to learn the most about Jesus by me talking right now. And I don't think the people you're trying to pour into are going to learn the most about Jesus by just inviting them here to listen to me talk for too long. It's going to be you guys going out to your schools on Monday, on Tuesday, on the rest of the days that you're not at church and living out what you say you believe. It's going to be you guys imitating Jesus at your school, at your sports team, at home to your parents. Like, that's where people are going to actually get the gospel. We get to build relationships. That's where we get to invite others into our lives and imitate Jesus, or have them imitate us as we imitate Jesus. And there have been some pretty cool sermons up here within this building, but the best sermons don't happen from this stage on Sunday mornings or Wednesday at youth group. They happen throughout the week as you guys are out doing your thing and building relationships with the people around you, because that's when they get to see God working in and through you. And the most important part of being a Christian is that we actually go out into the world day by day and live our lives out to the gospel and live out what we say we believe. And one of my genuine biggest prayers is that every single person at Oak Ridge, whether it's through Jesus Club or something else, that they would get to know Jesus. Anyone know, what else? One of my other biggest prayers is that people at Pondo, every single student on Pondo is going to be able to get to know Jesus too, or at least get the chance to be introduced by him. And Rolling Hills, and Marina, and Foothills, and all the schools that you guys go to. And anyone else that I'm missing out. But all the schools, you guys get the idea. But the only way that is actually going to happen is if we intentionally live out our faith by imitating Jesus when we walk out those doors tonight. So you guys ready to go do that? You guys ready to go live out what you believe? All right, let's pray it out before we head to small groups. God, what a cool opportunity. How cool is it, God, that we get to be in this space all together to talk about you, learn about you, and just hang out and see what this whole relationship with God, discipleship thing is. I feel so honored and blessed to be here, and I pray that if even just one student learned something more today and grew closer to you, God, then that makes everything worth it. And I pray that these students find the courage, find just the motivation and excitement to go live out everything they've learned today and everything that they know about you and love about you. I pray that they live it out at their schools tomorrow and everywhere that you're going to send them. And God, will your peace of being with them surpass all understanding? And will you make your presence so known to them that they know when they're facing drama, when they're facing a next hard test or anything that they're going to be going through, God, that you are right there with them, because we love them, but God, you love them so much more. And it's your name we pray. Amen.